Alright guys, what's up YouTube? Today I decided I'm gonna play on my computer. I'm giving this a shot. But anyways, gonna make a guide. We're gonna make a guide on Vargas. Alright. So this weekly video would be a guide on Vargas, which in my opinion, if one of the best, if not the best SR tank available. And let me tell you why. If you go through here, the only other SR tanks is Freya, which that skin's a nice skin though. But if you go by skins, then yeah, Freya wins for sure. But if you go by stats, my man Vargas wins. And the reason I love Vargas so much is if we go over here and we go to his stats, he has S in HP. So he naturally has a lot of HP, and he has a S in defense. Not a lot of people have two S's, although his magic defense is pretty low. And his attack, which doesn't really matter. His hit doesn't matter, his skill is low. But he has 2S HP and defense. And it's superhuman bravery. Physical damage reduction increases when unit has higher HP, reduces damage up to 30%. So physical damage, he reduces, well he reduces damage in general, but it's going to be physical damage because he builds defense. 30%. And once you kill him, you have to kill him twice. He's like Landius, except his passive is better than Landius because, well, it's not a passive. His talent, you can't disable his talent. He's gonna come back to life regardless. And in Landius, I don't like this little scroll thing compared to the phone. I like the phone. It's much quicker. But anyways, Landius has this. And it grants 20% HP upon taking damage that would otherwise have been fatal. Can be triggered once per battle. He comes back to life too, but if you have passive disabled, he doesn't come back to life. You could disable this passive because it's a passive, and then he does not come back to life. So, in that sense, Vargas is better. Obviously, Landius has better stats because he's the SS. So, Vargas is a lot easier to rank up also because he's a SR. And he's just a beast when it comes. He actually counters Landius because he is a Lancer and Landius is a cavalry. And he can one-shot. I've one-shot Landius's before, so unless it's like a really like top 3 Landiuses in the server, which I still like almost one-shot them, then yeah, he completely counters Landius. So let's go on with the skills. Minus 6 star, 6200 total power. Now if we go to the skills, because I have used Vargas for, basically he was my main tank because I didn't use leading. I don't like leading. I like being aggressive. I like attacking. Leading is more like he lets the battle come to him. Vargas is more like he goes to the battle and he gets into action. You know what I mean? So I never really worked on leading, but Vargas was my main tank for a while. So now I use Landius and Jugular, which I'm still working on my Landius, but starting off, Vargas was the man. And this is the optimal moves that I recommend going on him. Unbreakable Guardian, because it converts his whatever defense you have it changes attack to 1.6 defense. Power stab. So you can always have the power stab skill up, because with this and this combined, it's power stab. So you'll always have it up. And I like Battle Cry because it takes away a buff. So it could take away a buff, and then it reduces their attack and defense by 10%. So this is amazing. Another skill that is worth using sometimes, like in Thunder Dragon Armor Pierce, because it lowers the enemy's defense by 30%, which is pretty big, and it does 1.5 damage. So you could also do that. There's this passive. I wouldn't really recommend using that. And this, I guess if you really needed it, you could use it, but I wouldn't recommend that. Why can't I scroll down? Well, you gotta click. Attack Intimidate. This is not bad. Decreases attack of all enemies within 2 blocks by 15%. It's not bad, but I never really use it. This one's the other skill that you could possibly use if you don't have like Battle Cry. I'd replace it with Last Stand. So if you don't have Battle Cry, because if you go down to the upgrade, let's see here. Yeah, so I guess if you went down this path, I would use Unbreakable Guardian and Last Stand. And Heavy Shield. Heavy Shield is the other good one. When attacked with the melee attack, 25% chance to decrease damage taken. So his physical damage gets reduced by a lot, on top of what he already reduces it. If you go down this path, you're just going to have Power Stab, and you're going to use Battle Cry, and probably Attack Intimidate. Yeah. But anyways, this is the optimal build that you want to do. This is what I pretty much 99% of the time that I use them, except for when I was going through like all the early to mid content. Sometimes I would switch up when I wanted to survive. I'd switch up Battle Cry with Last Stand, and then like Power Stab with Heavy Shield when I just wanted to use him for a tank. But most of the time he's tanky enough to still be attacking and guarding at the same time. So I pretty much 99% of the time this would have had him in. Alright, and soldiers. Judging like I've been using him since the start of the game. He's my main tank. So, but believe me when I say Lava Titans is one of his best soldiers, because he's like people underestimate how much damage he can do, and he's actually a really good attacker. Topped off with the Lava Titan passive, which burns and they lose 30% HP upon action. And let's say you got like a Spirit Boost, so you can attack someone and move into range of putting this debuff on whatever character you want it to land on. They're tanky, they're lancers. They don't have much attack, but they have a lot of hit points and a lot of defense, and the burn damage is nice. It doesn't work for dragons though, or bosses of that such nature, but it works in PvP. It works for regular monsters. So another honorable mention, Cyclops. You could use these. When attacking enemies with lower HP than this unit, attack and defense increase by 80% after entering battle. These are not bad. These actually hit real hard, especially if you're like fighting something, like some kind of boss or something, and you're healing anyways, and you're always gonna have full health. These are pretty good. These are good for like one-shotting. But I mean, it's up to you. But these three are pretty good. Stone Colossus is pretty good. I just don't like them because your soldier HP has to be below 70%, and then their damage is decreased. And personally, I like keeping my damage up, my soldier HP above 70%. So I mean, because of that, I don't like the Stone Colossus. So so if it was up to me, I don't know, I'd go with one of these three, but definitely Lava Titans. But secondary, probably the Cyclops, because I've seen lots of people Cyclops, and I have decent Cyclopses. They're not the best, but they hit hard, trust me. Other ones, yeah, I wouldn't use any of these. They're all too. Yeah, so as for these, yeah, I wouldn't use any of these either. So definitely Lava Titan. That's the way to go. Um, yeah, Lava Titan, Cyclops, Orc Berserker. Okay. Equipment. This is his best weapon by far. Basically, when you're building Vargas, what you want to do is you want to get as much defense as humanly possible. Like, that's all you want on Vargas: defense and hit points. And maybe a little bit of magic defense, but honestly, he scales terrible with it. So you just want to stack up as much defense as humanly possible. Okay? So this gives you 10% defense and ignores 15% of defense on the enemy. So it's a really good weapon for Vargas. His best weapon. You could also go with let's see here. You could use a Curse Lance. Defense increases by 9%, and magic defense, and it has a chance to silence. Wow, I hate this scroll. Oh, you could do that. Okay, and prevent them from being healed last one turn. This is a good one. Also, you could use a Curse Lance on him if you don't have a Yorgos Brandt. You could also use an extension pull, which let me go. Let's see here. Okay. Which is also a feather duster. It reduces your damage by 20%, but it makes you have 2 range, which is pretty good. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's basically your only options on Vargas is either that pole, which is the same thing as a feather duster, or Ragged Branch right here. But this is his best weapon by far. Okay, next we go to armor. I'm using mirror armor. Um, and honestly, I'll probably end up re-rolling this and try to get 15% defense because magic defense doesn't really do much for him. And then get like some percentage health, like get some defense and some health. But I love the mirror armor. It hits like pretty much like 3k with him. When people attack him, it does 1.5 of the hero's defense, which is about 3k for my Vargas at the moment. And there's a lot of options you can go with the armor. You don't have to get mirror armor. You can do basically any of the armors. You could do wind wall. It also gives you defense, and it's good against ranged, so it'll lower their damage by 30%. You could go blood shield. That's another good option. It also gives you defense. You could do not this one. This one's terrible for him. You could even do carbon fiber armor. It gives you defense and magic defense. When he's above 50% health, which is 8% when it's maxed. It's right here. Let me show you. It's 8% when it's maxed, and then his attack and skill go. So basically, when he's underneath 50% health, then it's kind of bad. So it's not the best for him. But I mean, you could use it, and then you could swap it out with something else later on. So you could even use Gauss armor when attack defense increases by 3%, and when your unit is above 80%, magic damage decreases by 2%, and it goes up from there. So yeah, the best options are the Bloodline, the Aloysius battle armor, mirror armor, and Gauss armor. I don't recommend any of the other ones. You could use carbon fiber, but it's not that good on him. So yeah, that's basically the armors. Helms, again, you want to max his defense. And yeah, it'd be nice if I get some hit points in here, but hey, 14 defense, not bad. And then it's the helmet, HP, and defense. I think I'm actually going to change this out eventually for one of these, so that way it could be 10% defense. I'll lose hit points, but I'll get 5% more defense. And basically, I just want to, and he lowers the defense of people nearby by 20%. So it's not bad, You lose 5%. I mean, you gain 5% defense, you lose 10% hit points. But honestly, I'm trying to get the most hit points. So, but this is also a good option because of the hit points. It's either Analysis Helmet, Vampire Mask. You could use this again, but it's not the best because it does give you defense when you're above 50%. But then after that, it's kind of useless because he doesn't need attack, and the skill's kind of irrelevant with him. And it's really low. Like his base skill is super low, so it's just not worth it. Not worth it to use that. So this is another one, Gaia's Helmet. That's a good one too. It when above 80%, physical damage is reduced by 10%, and magic defend increases by 15%. It's not bad. It's not the best though, because again, you could even use Reaper's Breath because it gives you 10% hit points and fixed damage based on your hit points. So 20% max hit points. So you'd be doing a lot of damage on top of that Lava Titans. So it's not the worst. I'd rather have Reaper's Breath on him than Carbon Fiber Helmet, but for the sake of the video, just go with Enosis Helmet or Vampire Mask, and that's gonna be the best helmets he can wear. This one's not bad on him either. Again, anything you have, but I think Vampire Mask is probably his best helmet because it has 10% defense, or Enosis Helmet to make him a little tankier. So it's up to you. I'm trying to max out his damage. I'm trying to one-shot people with Vargas. So Spirit Boost, I currently have on him 10% defense. That's the max you can get on the accessory. Plus, you can move after attacking someone, and 8% defense. For his accessory, he's very flexible. Let's go here. Okay, he can use Overlord's Bash for sure. That's if I get an Overlord's Bash, I'm gonna have a copy just for him. And it gives him 5% defense, 5% all stats, and grants immunity to defense and magic defense reduction and mobility reduction, so his guard won't come off. Again, you'll lose a lot of defense, but this is like a must in PvP. What's another one? I mean, if you don't have anything else, you could use this. It's not bad on him. Not the best. You could use this on him. Not the best. Divine Boots is another one that's top tier for Vargas. Basically, Spirit Boots, Overlord's Badge, Divine Boots, probably the best accessories for him besides Source Metal, which makes it to where he's immune to fixed damage and silence effects and all plus stats. Because if he gets silenced, then he can't use his guard. He can't put his power stat active skill on, which extremely lowers his damage output and his attack if you can't activate his skills. So it's not a bad one either. Yeah, that's basically it. So his best accessories: Spirit Boots, Divine Boots, and Overlord's Badge. So the +1 mobility is really nice on him because he needs to stay with the team, and his lack of mobility makes it annoying sometimes. And plus, since he's an attacker tank, that plus mobility is real nice. And yeah, Overlord's best for PvP. And this is really good for that Ancient Calling that's going to be coming out for one of the bosses. So I already have a set of regular boots, but I'm probably going to work on a set of Divine Boots just for him also. And whenever I get another Overlord's Badge, I'm going to have one for him too. Alright, next, enchants. I got ice on him because when I started the game, that's what I had. Again, he was my first tank, and that's all I've been using. Ice is not that bad in PvE and PvP. It comes in clutch sometimes. It freezes the enemies. But now, and it raises his defense by 5 and whatnot. Let's see here. could also go with Thorns is a good one for PvP. Yeah, let's go with SRs because I don't think I have all the SSRs. I wouldn't recommend Steel just because he's losing out in defense. But I mean, it's not the worst choice. But I would not recommend Hard Rock. It's not the worst choice either, but it's not bad on him. But I mean, eventually, Hard Rock falls off. Uh, Early to mid game, it's not bad on him, but late game it just falls off. Thorns or Tree of Life is not bad on him. I don't think it's the best, but it's not bad. It gives him plus 10 hit points and increases everybody's defense and magic defense. Thorns is good for PvP, especially like let's say a mage one shots him. That mage would probably get one shot also because he has a lot of hit points. So if this procs, she's probably gonna kill herself. I'm currently on ice. You could also go double blue, like I don't know, 2 hard rocks or 2 crystals or 2 ice to maximize his defense. But yeah, as far as like the best ones, I'd go with either Thorns, Ice, or Hard Rock. It's up to you really. And that's basically it. Except for bonds. So if we quickly go to the bonds. My bonds are maxed except for his attack bonds, his strength bonds, which doesn't do anything for him except the skill, and his skill is D ranked, so it doesn't do anything to him regardless. So yeah, just everything's maxed on him besides that, and I probably never won't touch that. And yeah, that's pretty much Vargas. You want to max definitely this one, toughness, and these, and definitely his heart bond. So that is Vargas. That is was my main tank, and I still use him every day because I use tactical. Oh, let's go over the fraction buff. He is Empire and tactical. And there's a lot of fraction buffs for Empire. You got Bernhardt, you got Leon, you got Lance, which nobody uses, but I mean, hey, you can fraction buff with him if you're doing it in a guild bottle or something. Do you want to be in a fraction buffer? So yeah, in this one, Bernhardt's going to be fraction buffing, the actual guy that you would use in a team. And for strategic masters, definitely you're going to go with Untitled. Untitled is going to fraction buff this. Lanford is also a fraction buffer, but Muller's fraction buff is amazing with Leon and Vargas because they can pretty much move anywhere on the map. And yeah, teamed up with Muller, Vargas's mobility is really nice. And that's it. That is Vargas. If you have any questions, let me know.
Oh, that's the spirit!
And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you.